Okay, I think I got everything set up the way it should be. I've got a brand new, large for me at least, 4x3 canvas. Gessoed over. I worked pretty hard on sketching it. I went over it. And the thing is, when you're working on a painting, so, you know, you got a nice, what looks like a nice sketch, or sometimes what looks like a terrible sketch, but sometimes you get the feeling, even though I want to, it's like it's not meeting my expectations, and you want to just like start over, destroy it, but sometimes you have to, I mean, that can be a all right impulse, but sometimes you really need to fight it, at least I do. And let them live, give them a chance to prove themselves. My name is Douglas Truth, and this is the show we call Everything I Know. My language is kind of precise there. When I say that this is the show that we call Everything I Know, what I mean to say is that this is not everything I know, because being fairly generous, I probably ran out of things I know, probably the third or fourth episode maybe. After that, it's just been a lot of talk and commentary, I guess. But commentary is okay, because the word itself reminds me of an old story. I don't know where the story comes from, but it's a nice one. Some potentate of the olden days issued a challenge to all the religious experts in his kingdom and said, can you tell me what your religion's all about while standing on one foot? And apparently there were some failures there, although I would, it wouldn't be nice to tell people about those failures. But some rabbi got up there and stood on one foot, and he said, treat others the way you wish to be treated. Everything else is commentary. And then he put his other foot down and said, there you go, done. So that's a nice one. I mean, if my dear mother used to say, if everybody just followed the golden rule, the world would be perfect. If everybody just treated other people the way they want to be treated, what could go wrong, you know? So commentary, everything I know. We have a dog here that I've already had a family, but I joined the family, and so I've kind of, in a certain way, kind of halfway adopted the dog. Freya is her name, and I just love her dearly. And she's a very, very intelligent dog. I've had a lot of nice dogs who are pretty sharp, but this one really has like almost like classroom intelligence. Excuse me. That was a couscous, I think. And so I love the dog, and she gets in. You know, we want to alter her behavior so she fits in better. I don't want to get into the details, but. So I started thinking about training a dog and about how this relationship we have with them and how we want them to do better. We want them so much to be able to, like, you know, when they're on the leash and they go around a tree and then they want to come at you straight, but the leash is wrapped around the tree and you just want to go, you know, three-dimensional universe. Come on, figure it out. Come on, girl. But usually they can't, or they go to the wrong door and they bark when it's like all they have to do is, you know, it's like on a larger scale, the fly or the bee that's like banging up against the window trying to get out, and escape is just a few inches away, but they can't see it. And so we wish for these wards of ours, our little friends, to do well. We want them to be happy and smart. Because there's a joy to sharing an existence like that, truly a joy. That dog brings me back to the present moment all the time, just in its perfection. So along those lines, I can thought further, as is my wont, and that's where the danger in Tea House of Danger comes from, is thinking further. So I started thinking further, and I got along the lines, okay, so you set up a syllogism, I think is the right word for it. So man to dog is to dog as X is to man. So what do you come up with there? I come up with something, I hesitate to use any words at all, but like a guardian angel, or that is so cliched, and I hate it. I just hate the very idea, even though it's probably what I'm talking about. It's just that people have glommed it up with so much sugar and taffy and sweetness and glitter and shit like that it bears no relation to reality, which is much more stark and beautiful and strong. I don't know about you, but I've always felt like I've had some protection because I have been really stupid in my life. Not just multiple times, but multiples times I've been really stupid. And I was like, how did I get through that? Well, Occam's razor drove me to the point where it's like somebody's watching out for me. And I started thinking about them in terms of the way I relate to our dog. I want her to succeed. I want her to get smarter. I want her to figure out, you don't bark at that door, you go to the other door. And so it seems natural and almost obvious now to me that I think about it, is this fact that these are guardians, are helpers, that they're like another rung above us somehow. And they're pulling for us. They wish for us to so much. They wish for us to be smarter and stop doing the stupid things that we do over and over and over and over. I mean, I'm speaking for myself personally, but I do feel that it's pretty safe to generalize here, that most people are pretty fucking stupid all the time. We do things against our own interests. We have bad habits, we have addictions, we're addicted to like suffering, we're addicted to hating people, we're addicted to complaining, we're addicted, stuff like that. And if you were watching out for a dear human being for whom you wish the best, like a happy soul, like some kind of improvement in this life, for onward into our journey, whatever that might be, you would just be heartbroken. And I started thinking in those terms, and it was one of the most self-motivational things I have ever come up with, is just not invoking this entity because I think it's already there, but invoking into my mind the consciousness that that person or entity or whatever it is there, broken-hearted, looking at me, going through my maze over and over and over. It's like, come on, please get it. Please make me happy and figure this out. And now it's like, I look at Freya and I know she wants to please me. She wants to be a good dog. She wants to be part of the family. And so you could just like move all of those attributes and emotions and wishes, just upscale at once, so that as man is to dog, X is to man. It just keeps, it's like, I've got the self-observation thing going a lot stronger because of that idea. And it's like, it's not like I'm being stupid in a vacuum. I'm disappointing someone. I'm disappointing somebody much wiser and older and stronger and more loving in every way than I could think about being, and I'm disappointing them after all they've done for me. The joke that comes to mind, like the typical mother, oh, you treat me like this after all I've done for you. Well, yeah. But I think actually, believe it or not, this attachment might be stronger and have more depth than a typical human child-parent relationship. I know I'll probably get a lot of hate mail for that one, but it's possible. It's possible. I say that having had one of the most loving relationships I know of with my own mother, so it meant everything to me. But this means more, somehow. So, that's all I got to say about that. I'd be happy to know what any of you think about it, but a lot going on, lots more painting going on. I got a big show coming up at the Awaken Cafe downtown Oakland. The new show, I finally find this deserves a post all its own, having broken through all the trouble that trying to work out death as a salesman into some kind of show. I tried to give it up, I could not. And maybe that same entity that I just invoked it was there, because at one time I was traveling, and I had finished my book. I had finished my book, Everything I Know About Death, Subject to Verification. I asked kind of a question. I was like, is this enough? Does this like get me off the hook? And it's like the answer was resounding and very rapid, no. So I knew I had to get back on stage again, but I was troubled by it. I was troubled by like the, getting back on a bicycle after you've fallen kind of thing. But I just couldn't get the show didn't work for me or something. I mean, I got accepted into the Marsh Theater, the Marsh.org, San Francisco. Check it out, big time theater. They accepted my play, but I didn't think it was ready. But now I got it. It all clicked into place. It's like all the pieces were there, and just kept pounding my head against them somehow, and it finally clicked, and now I got it. An Intimate Evening with Death Herself. That's the title of the show. And we're going to be opening it up in Grass Valley, California, December 7th, Friday, at Manuel McFarland's The Bishop's Rooms. There'll be lots more information, deathherself.com, if you want to go there. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, the show. I mean, it was really important to do the show because you've got like, I don't know exactly how many days, but like maybe 13 or 14 shopping days until the end of the world, right? So I think it's really important. We rushed to get this show done for you before the end of the world on December 21st, I think, is when it's scheduled for. So we're so very happy, practically jumping up and down. I mean, no, really, literally jumping up and down. I do it in the morning sometimes, and I stop, don't do that. But I get so happy about getting this show on the road, and I'll have clips and stuff about it soon, very soon. But it's actually happening. And for that, I give high praise to everybody involved. So I guess that's about it. That indeed is more than everything I know. A lot of conjecture, a lot of bullshit, hot air, and stuff like that. But in any event, I wish you well, and I bid you farewell. Take care.